You know what they call that stretch of highway? Slaughter Alley. They say a trucker patrols that highway looking for people to kill.
Let's take a ride on Slaughter Alley.
I wanted to do something that kind of mashes two genres, like Joyride meets Fast and Furious.
Immediately, all these people around me on the crew that I often work with got so excited that I knew this was one we had to do.
'73 Bravo, take 2. Mark. A mark. B mark. Action.
It's nearing the wee hours of the morning. I'm here on set. Someone's hand is being chopped up behind me. It's starting to rain. There are flies everywhere, and I'm bleeding down my face. So it's pretty much business as usual in a horror film.
Follow the blood to the face.
Okay.
When we first looked at this script, I had a first AD do the schedule. He said, "Oh my God, Kim, this is a 40-day shoot." I'd worked with Declan before, and he's very good at scaling it to what can just barely fit into 20 days. And this crew is so great that we get so much production value in our 20 days.
It's great having a director that also wrote the script because he's really good at knowing what he wants and he can make changes quick.
Dialogue to start right here.
Where's Bob?
I don't know.
I haven't seen him.
Where's the drum? Wait for him. We gotta move.
All right, go. Awesome. Should have shot it.
One racer. One racer.
Come back, Jordan. It's your old pal, Rusty Nail.
Yeah, what do you want?
No, it's not what I want. It's what I have that you want.
I was searching for somebody who had the physical stature and the acting chops to play Rusty Nail, and Ken Kersinger was my first choice.
I have worked in the horror genre as Jason, most notably in Freddy vs. Jason. I also appeared in Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, as the fry cook and the stunt double for Jason.
What day is it, Ken?
It's Friday the 13th.
It's Friday the 13th! Woohoo!
Ken was Rusty's stunt double in Joyride 2. And of course, Ken's starring in Freddy vs. Jason makes him a kind of celebrity on the set.
Barbecue! Yes, yes. Hanging out with Jason.
Working in the horror genre, of course, there is a lot of violence and blood, and some people have a little harder time dealing with that than others. Myself, I've done enough now, I hardly notice it.
Yeah, the theme is more blood, more blood. It will get to full number 10 carry level. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah,
let's use that.
I've been making all the blood for the show, and I use this very old recipe by this man named Dick Smith who did the make for The Exorcist and The Godfather, and he came up with this idea of using corn syrup and food coloring, so I've expanded on that a little bit.
We apparently have like 2 oil drums full of blood. Like, just full of blood.
Blood is obvious when he gets his hand towards the blade, right there, right? And when the hand is towards the blade and he starts screaming, blood.
We had to do prosthetics for my arm and my head, and it was my first time doing that. And I have a sort of an issue with claustrophobia, but we had to get like a full body cast, and I had to sit in that for like a good 30 minutes, holding this like painful scream.
We tried to sever a hand through a fan, which is on the truck. Unfortunately, the product we were using wasn't stiff enough, so the hand sort of did this little flopping and stuff like that. So we frantically whipped off, and we ended up putting skewers and wood dowels and stuff inside the hand to get it stiff in order to chop it off. And we had blood coming out through the hand, through the fingers and stuff.
Holy. That worked quite nicely.
That's nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's how I go. Poor Austin.
Okay, so I want this taken and put in Giancarlo's bed tonight, please.
A lot of us die in kind of unique ways. I think that's one of Declan's strengths, is he has a kind of a terrifying imagination when it comes to killing people.
I wanted to do kills that were different, that you haven't necessarily seen before on film, and I also thematically wanted to tie them all in automotive related, so we have various kills that involve Rusty's truck
You kind of have to invent these kills, so when you start physically putting stuff together, you end up finding things that work and some things that don't work. And then sometimes we actually end up not even doing what we originally thought, and we come up with even a better idea. And it's a lot of fun.
The night of my death was pretty interesting because we made 2 dummies of me. The dummy turned out excellently, freaked me out a little bit, strapped her to the top of a vehicle on some mannequin legs, and then we drive a truck full speed into an overpass. So the first time we do it, too slow. And the dummy just falls back onto the truck. And everyone's like, because this is about an hour reset.
So we're gonna redo that one. We're gonna do some pyrotechnics and blow her guts out so that it comes right at camera. It'll be really, really gory and a lot of fun.
All right, we're killing Bobby.
You know, you want it to be realistic and gory, but it's fun gore. So realism is kind of thrown out the window a little bit in exchange for something that everyone's gonna go, oh, gross, fun, but let's watch it again.
As you can see, I'm all chained up from my chest to my face with metal spikes, and right now they're hooking up some bloodlines to make it a bit gory because these chains are gonna start impaling my chest and face at the same time and ultimately crushing my skull, so yeah, it's gonna be fun.
We use a lot of different materials when you're doing this kind of work. So these heads, I knew that we're impaling them, we're chopping into them, we're squishing them. The most economical and easy material to use would be gelatin. Once the gelatin skin is cast and we fill it with expandable foam that's soft. So for instance, this is his head getting compressed, so you can really squish it easily.
Almost all the deaths in the film have something to do with Rusty's truck, which I think is really neat because that's what makes Rusty unique from all of the other iconic killers and all the other horror films. Rusty's a truck driver, and he uses his truck in multiple ways to kill just about all of us.
Rusty's truck is a '84 Peterbilt, and actually Declan is the one that found it. It's scheduled to get grappled at the junkyard and put into a car crusher. I think we'll have a moment of silence, maybe light a candle for it, because it's kind of grown on me. I'm getting a little attached to Rusty's truck.
Keeping with the racing theme, I wanted to find a rally car that would fit in like a Fast and Furious. So I found a Subaru WRX STI, which is a 5-speed manual. I think I took her up to about 120.
One of my favorite parts actually of driving in the race car was driving with the stunt drivers in the car, because you never get to go that fast in real life.
The race car has a support vehicle, and it pulls the trailer that the car rides on sometimes, and they settled on the 2000 Blazer. Rick Skeen and his crew put the roll bar in and did a nice pipe ramp the other night.
I have my sons working on this show as well. Much to the delight and chagrin of my wife.
Stunts is a business where trust is a huge thing, and it's nice to know that if you're getting lit on fire or doing anything crazy, that you have your dad or your brother there to have your back.
We also do all the roll caging and car preparation in-house, so knowing that he was driving it, I got to sort of go over it with extra care and be extra meticulous, because I would have to answer to my wife if something happened. That would be a bad phone call. Hey, honey, I broke the kid. You know, it's never a good moment. But I have the advantage of having done it many, many times myself, so I always know sort of what it feels like on the inside.
It feels like a car crash. You don't really have time to be scared or do anything. Like when you're about to hit the ramp, you're just worrying about hitting the mark, and you really get into a calm state of focus. Don't screw up, and hope for the best.
I had a little car perched at the end of the runway with the keys in it, so when I finished my drive with the truck, I hopped in that little car and raced to make sure he was okay myself. I think that was the dad part.
Everything worked out great. Got a great crash, great spiral, great camera angles, so we're all very happy in the end.
I think we spiraled the car 6 times, and it was the best stunt of any of my films.
Okay, so we're filming the scene the other night. Rusty Nail has told us over the radio that he has some of our friends, and we actually hear one of our friends die. So we're all freaking out, we're losing it. Ben Hollingsworth, he's playing Mickey, he's in the passenger seat, and he's got the phone.
I've always had phones that have been fake on set. I've never had a real live one that's actually gonna call something. So I press 911 and I press send.
Hello? 911, what's your emergency? Hello?
I need help, okay? Well, there's this guy, he's trying to kill our friends. He's fucking killing our friend. And I'm like, great, this is awesome. I have a real voice to react to. And then she goes, I need to know your location. I'm like, that's not scripted.
Sir, I can't help you if you don't tell me where you are.
I don't know where we are!
So the police legitly hear us freaking out about how our friends have been killed. We don't know where we are.
Come on, you gotta help us. He's got them. You gotta help us.
So we had to get production to call the RCMP. The RCMP had already sent someone at that point because I think they could track the phone through GPS. And so they're coming out in the middle of butt nowhere to find out what's going down. Production has to convince them that this really is a film. We're really filming. Don't worry, no one's being killed, and you can stand down. Crazy times here on Joyride 3.
Horror films provide you with an opportunity to revisit childhood fantasies of guts and gore and things that we sneak out of our rooms late at night to watch on our television.
Jesus Christ!
Things that we're not allowed to see. And I think that's really exciting.
Being on a horror film is so different from a lot of films because it's this constant state of fear and then laughter. We get to be covered in blood, we get to do these crazy things, and then we get to actually just hang out and watch the footage together. So it's pretty unique.
Yeah, all a day's work.
And that is a cut and a picture wrap for Joyride 3. Thank you, everyone. It has been an honor and a pleasure working with all of you. I know how hard you all work. It takes a lot of people to make a movie. Couldn't have done it without you. I know how much you guys work so hard. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.